All right, well, this is my first video on the ABC show, Blackish. I'm going to be honest here. I have never watched an episode of Blackish. I am going to be completely honest. At best, I've seen clips of the show Blackish, but I've never sat down to watch it. So, ironically enough, during the 100th episode, I did watch it live on ABC. I believe it came on the 13th, which is Tuesday. I think one reason that I've never watched Blackish is simply due to the fact that it comes on, and I'm assuming it's been in the same slot since it aired. I could be wrong. Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock, which, as you know from this channel, based off the name, that on Tuesday at 9, I typically watch the haves and the have-nots when it's actually on OWN, during its run during the first and second halves of any given year over the past 5 years. But 2018 is the exception, obviously, with the show running 33 episodes in like 4 different segments of 2018. But let's just go back to the fact that this was a Prince-centered episode, a tribute to the Purple One, and that's the real reason I, sat down and watched the show. Let me just say up front, I enjoyed the episode. If there was one flaw of the episode, I would just say that 30 minutes wasn't enough. And by 30 minutes, I mean, it was literally maybe 20, 21 minutes at best because, commercials and whatnot. So I do feel like the episode really would have benefited from being at least 40 minutes long, aka an hour long. And I feel like the real thing about it, 'cause I'm seeing a lot of, well, not a lot, but I'm seeing more love for the episode than hate. The real quote unquote hate are the people who, go online and just say Prince is probably turning over in his grave. Look at this mess. What kind of garbage is this? I didn't see it that way. If anything, I felt like this episode was Prince focused, of course, and like a tribute episode. But, you were giving, props to Prince, listing off only a fraction of his accomplishments. Again, it was only 20 minutes, but I do love how they highlighted some of the key things he's accomplished, such as, Grammys and, what he meant to people. And that's really what it was about. Like, don't get me wrong, like the recreation of songs like Kiss, Purple Rain, Sexy MF. Then at the end, they all Sign of the Times. Then they all came together for Nothing Compares. It was great because of the fact that this episode really focused on the fact that Prince is someone that should be remembered. How it's important that he is passed on to the next generation. Now, I'm 27 years old, and I'm already at that age, I feel, where the music I grew up with is the music that I'm going to listen to for the rest of my life. And yes, I was born in 91, but I also grew up listening to Motown and stuff like that. So, man, the OJs, freaking the Spinners. And I'm really listing off groups that really don't get named as much. Obviously, I do love like the Jacksons, Michael, of course, Whitney Houston, the Temptations and whatnot. But, heck, if you go on the list of like TV1's unsung, like the DeBarge family and all that stuff. I love all that stuff too. And I just feel like they did a perfect job in the episode of demonstrating like the music that kids today listen to and they dance to. So why they want to listen to the oldies and whatnot. But I'm not here to just talk about, oh, today's music is trash, honestly, in a way I do think it is. Not to say there aren't some gems out there, but I can see why the parents in the show were like, okay, it's important, you need to teach your kids about Prince. The proof is in the pudding. Honestly, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Me and him were born on the same day, August 29th, obviously in different years. But I think that, growing up, I was definitely Team Michael. That doesn't mean I didn't like Prince, though, because I grew up watching Purple Rain and whatnot. But I feel like, because of Prince going through the whole slave phase and whatnot, and being ahead of his time, with internet music. And I don't even believe we got a home computer in our house until I was in like 7th or 8th grade. And even then, the internet we had was freaking dial-up. I didn't have high-speed internet at my parents' house until 2010. And at that point, I had done 2 semesters of college. First semester, dial-up. because I was an online student. Then the second semester, I was a residential student at Liberty. And when I experienced high speed, like, you would not believe the look on my face when I was looking at YouTube videos instantaneously instead of waiting like an hour for a 30-second video to pop up. That's how bad I had it back in the day. So you can imagine why when Prince got to that level, kind of like, you know, the post Sign of the Times, you know, Bat Dance stages and whatnot, I wasn't really as familiar with his music. You know, I was more familiar with the 1999 Little Red Corvette, Purple Rain. So I feel like it wasn't until after he passed away that I became more, I guess you could say, interested in digging through his catalog, learning about him more, and just really appreciating his work ethic. Because personally, I started writing songs about maybe around 2012, 2011. Like, I was in college, I was thinking, yeah, I want to be a songwriter, and I have like probably over 80 plus songs I've written personally, and Prince was my inspiration. Like, I was watching Purple Rain so much my DVD broke. Like, whenever I was writing a song, I was watching a Purple Rain movie in the background, just because I was so impressed. And 2012 is obviously before he died, of course, but I was impressed that he played all those instruments. He wrote so many songs. He was pretty much like a self-sustaining machine when it came to the music business. But aside from that, you know, I was just impressed by there were so many messages in his songs. And that's why I did love about the episode. Like, they really demonstrated, like, you know, in Purple Rain, you know, the, you know, Rain and Blood, and then 1999 about the apocalypse. And, you know, even then, I believe the grandmother was talking about When Doves Cry, just talking about, you know, being a mom, like a wife, where the husband was at work and then the wife was taking care of the household. It's just, it was really great how all of these songs had different meanings to so many people. And I loved it most because obviously in the home of Blackish, I'm assuming the two older family members are like the parents of Anthony Anderson's character, and then he has his wife, of course, and then underneath him are his kids. So it's just amazing how Prince's songs touch generations of people, and each song has a different like heartstring it pulls at. So that was one of the most defining factors of the episode, just demonstrating how all these songs have different meanings and how these meanings touch people in different ways. And that's why I really wish this episode was at least an hour long, or again, aka 40 minutes if you subtract commercials, because I really wanted to go a little deeper. What I do like, though, is that we didn't just get the typical Prince song, because when you think of Prince tribute episode on a show that's about 30 minutes long and they only have maybe 4 or 5 slots for songs, one would just guess off the top of the head, okay, Let's Go Crazy, Purple Rain, 1999, Little Red Corvette, Raspberry Beret. And they actually had a good mix. I mean, what you had, Let's Go Crazy because they were dancing in the kitchen, Kiss, I love that scene, Sexy MF, Sign of the Times, and Purple Rain. And what was the song that Anthony Anderson's wife was thinking about? Was it I Wanna Sex You Up or something like that? I think that was the song. But yeah, it was a good recreation of the stuff. But overall, I just thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I just cringed my teeth at, and I know I don't do that often because, you know, Dennis says not to, but it's just, was it grit your teeth? I'm just mad because the episode really should have been longer. Maybe there were like extended scenes that were cut due to time constraints, but I really wish we could have gotten songs like Diamonds and Pearls and Cream and whatnot. I mean, they didn't mention like the Gold album and stuff like that, and Peach. But yeah, this episode, it was an episode to unwind. I did see people commenting. It's like, yeah, you know, I was crying during the episode. I was laughing. It was really a mixed bag of emotions. And that's really Prince songs. And not just Prince, but, you know, a lot of artists in general. You have songs that make you laugh, songs that make you cry, songs that make you reflect, songs that make you want to get up and dance, songs that make you want to cuddle with your loved ones. It is just great. And basically just a prime example of why Prince's legacy should just go on in terms of future generations looking to Prince for, you know, just an example of true music. Just, I mean, I can't say it enough. Definitely a great episode. I'm definitely going to rewatch it again this upcoming weekend. It was just a joy to watch, literally. I mean, if you just want to sit back for about 20 some minutes and get some laughs, but also get inspired to pull up your Prince playlist on Spotify or iTunes, this was the episode. So I'm going to give this episode, you know, like if I were to rank it, I'd say I give it I give it an A begrudgingly because I want to give it a B, but I just feel like an A- is appropriate. The real thing I would have given it like a perfect score was, you know, the fact that it needed to be longer. I mean, technically I should give it a B because the youngest son only had one segment where he had Prince going kiss when the girl came up to the door, but I will give those points back because at the end of the episode, you know, his coming to the faith of Prince, so to speak, is what led to Nothing Compares to You at the end, and that was really good. But overall, guys, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I mean, again, from what I've seen online, especially in 2 of the Facebook groups dedicated to Prince that I'm actually in myself, a majority, if not everybody, loved the episode. I mean, even when the clips on Instagram and Facebook came up of, you know, like, you know, Prince changed my life. You know, my first day with your mom, her shoe broke. I spilled ketchup on her shirt. I had no reason to kiss her, but I didn't have the confidence. But then I thought, what would Prince do? I was done. It was fun, guys. It was fun. Like, don't go into this episode like a harsh critic. It was great for what it was, and once again, it was just a tribute to Prince. But with that being said, I think Prince, if he were still here, he would have been laughing, you know, because Prince has a sense of humor. And I really do feel like this show did a great thing in terms of remembering Prince. Like, some people are like, those recreations of the videos are like so ridiculous. No, they weren't. I thought they were pretty well done. I mean, the only quote unquote ridiculous thing was, you know, Anthony Anderson flopping his belly and whatnot. But he wasn't on what? There was one award show where he had the assless pants, and I'm like glad he didn't do that in the episode. But guys, it was a joy to watch. So let me know what your thoughts on the Blackish 100th episode tribute to Prince was. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part? Let me know what were some Prince songs that changed your life. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so already. You know, if you're new to the channel, the channel is called The Haves and the Have-Nots Review. Obviously, most of the videos focus on Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots show. If you're a fan of the show, you're in the right place. I talk theories, episode reviews, everything else in between. But sometimes videos like this come about when I talk about music, anime, things that are happening in the world, and we go from there. So thanks so much for tuning in. Excuse me while I pull up my Prince Spotify playlist and jam the Diamonds and Pearls.